In our number 10 spot we have Lucifer. Well, obviously I'm gonna have Lucifer at the top of my list because, well, he is the fallen angel, the devil himself. Obviously he's going to be scarier than demons. In fact, I think he even created demons. I mean, I may be wrong though, but I think so. I need to brush up on my Bible facts someday soon and find out. Yeah, it most likely won't be someday soon, but not gonna lie, every so often I see a Bible and have the inspired thought of reading the Bible, and I think, how cool would it be to say that I've read the Bible. Anyways, Lucifer is not considered to be the devil in all religions, I just heard actually, and technically not all religions use the name Lucifer. But I think it's safe to say that the fallen angel, whether you call him Lucifer or not, is probably not a positive angel, and therefore it would most likely be scary. Most likely this fallen angel has terrified a demon or two. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button as it will really help us out. In our number 9 spot we have Azrael. I mean, this one makes sense why someone might be fearful of it because Azrael is the angel of death. Known as the Archangel of Death in Islam and the Angel of Death in Christian traditions, this is an angel you only want to see when you're ready to pass on, not any time before that. This angel is also known as the Grim Reaper. He has 4 faces and watches over the 4 cardinal points of the earth, so yeah, that's frightening to imagine. But that's not all. Apparently his whole body consists of eyes and tongues that consist of all the people from Earth. Who the heck came up with this? And also, why haven't I seen a scary movie with this person yet? I'm sure the makeup artist would be in heaven creating this angel. Although I'm not a big scary movie person, I'm more of a fantasy sci-fi type, so maybe there is one and I missed it. Anyways, this is pretty terrifying to imagine, a pretty terrifying angel, so no wonder this scares people, and this angel would for sure scare a demon. I mean, there's eyes and tongues all over its body. In our number 8 spot we have Seraphim. Before this video, I had never heard of Seraphim before, which again, not surprising. You probs won't find me in a church on Sundays, but not gonna lie, I will turn on Joel Osteen every so often. He just seems so lovely and he makes you want to hug everyone. Anyways, the Seraphim, I've learned, is a bunch of angels, the highest order of angels who are said to guard God's throne. They are usually depicted as burning angels to represent them on fire with love for God. Apparently they are also described in the Bible as 6-winged beings, which is unclear if each one has 6 wings or collectively they have 6 wings. If they each have 6 wings and they are supposedly on fire, not only would that scare a demon, but it would haunt the dreams of the most wicked thing alive for sure. People also believe that they were the first creation of God and that they were created to help God know himself through their experiences. Weird thought. Huh. Anyone thinking what I'm thinking? Based God. In our number 7 spot we have cherubs. The cherub is said to be angels involved in the worship and praise of God. Sometimes when I hear things like this, I wonder, if God is so selfless, why does he have people worship him? It makes you think about human ego and how it could have come out in the stories of God in heaven. Anyways, the cherub is described to be quite terrifying, but honestly, I'll let you decide. First off, they've got 4 heads, so there's that. The 4 faces are said to be a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle. But not only that, it is said to have 4 wings. Apparently, 2 of the wings are for flying and 2 are for covering their body. But why? No one knows. Apparently Satan was a cherub before falling, so Satan was the man's head within the 4 heads, or he was all 4 of the creatures. Very confusing. In any case, still uncomfortable to think about. In our number 6 spot we have dominions. This angel is psychologically scary, which arguably can sometimes be worse than physically. Sometimes. The dominion angels are a group of angels that deliver justice, something I think everyone on a deep level is scared of. In other words, they deliver karma. There is justice served with everything that is put out into the world, whether it is good or bad, because another word for justice is just balance. But in the case of these angels, good and bad is not relative to the person perceiving it. The rules are absolute and strictly from God's perspective as to what is right and wrong. Anyways, these angels are known for delivering justice, and depending on who they meet, that might be a scary thought. They are portrayed in the Bible as beings that carry out judgments against sinful situations in this fallen world, while keeping in mind God's original intent as the creator and his good purposes. I do wonder though, if God's intent is for all of us to think and act the same, then why did he make us all think and act differently? Or is that a result of society corrupting us and making us think that we all want something different? I could talk about this all day. In our number 5 spot, we have Metatron. Metatron is a kick-ass angel in my opinion, but I suppose that is because I love uncovering the truth, and Metatron represents the shattering of realities and the forging of new ones. I love discovering when I'm being narrow-minded about something. The world feels so much more bigger as a new world, a new perspective forms in my mind. Metatron is usually associated with Judaism. The Zohar sees him as the angel who oversaw the exodus of the people of Israel out of Egypt. He's also known as the angel of the veil. Metatron is depicted as a beautiful, colorful angel surrounded by light, and he is holding a cube that represents a sign of protection and support for us. He apparently also was once human, which honestly, after hearing that, it makes him feel a little creepy to me. Anyways, the fact that he works to shatter realities and forge new ones, he would definitely be frightening to all of the media demons altering our perceptions, am I right? Possibly terrifying to shapeshifter demons. In our number 4 spot, we have Archangel Michael. Look, I don't think Archangel Michael is scary at all, but I definitely think if he existed that he would be scary to demons. He is known as the angel, the most powerful archangel. You always hear people speak about Archangel Michael and his power. He is mentioned in the Bible fighting Satan. He's apparently the chief of the angels. So imagine being a little baby demon and you see Archangel Michael, you would scream like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone and run away. Little baby demon. Just love me, guys. This is a fun list. Anyways, Michael is recognized as an angel by many religions, making him the one that is most likely real. And he is recognized as being powerful and the angel of God's army across the board, so beware demons. In our number 3 spot, we have Choronzon. Choronzon is known as the demon of dispersion, so no, not an angel, but needed an honorable mention because he is seemingly quite scary and would probably scare the other demons. He was actually mentioned and possibly praised quite frequently by Aleister Crowley, the notorious occultist, who has said that he is a serpent who dwells in the abyss and is the final big obstacle between the magician and true enlightenment. Choronzon was actually first mentioned though by a man named John Dee, who created a book that helps teach the language of angels, and interestingly enough, he was a consultant for Queen Elizabeth I. Anyways, he sounds scary being a serpent and a final obstacle and all. Who likes obstacles really? Not me. I'll take smooth sailing please. In our number 2 spot, we have Archangel Uriel. Archangel Uriel is heavily associated with light and sunshine, which doesn't sound scary to us unless you're a basement kid that hates sunshine and happy people. But an angel of light and sunshine would absolutely be scary to a demon. Terrifying for sure. He is sometimes depicted as holding a flaming sword or having a palm full of fire. Could be scary. Uriel has also been called a pillar of strength. Apparently, Uriel was one of the 4 angels that observed the fall of the Watchers that made God intervene and save humanity. Anyways, this angel sounds great for humans, but not great for demons, so I'm sure they would be terrified. In our number 1 spot, we have Kushiel. Kushiel is an angel popular in Judeo-Christianity, and he represents the god of punishment. More specifically, this is an angel that is said to be on the right hand of God, and he punishes individuals in hell like demons. So, I think it's safe to say that he is the most scariest angel of all. He is said to be one of 7 angels of punishment. It is said that he punishes with a whip made of fire. Yeah, that's scary. But I suppose if the demons are already in hell and hell is on fire, then a whip with fire may not be any different, because I'm assuming the souls / demons would already be burning? Who knows? Anyways, this angel has to be the scariest to demons.
Starting us off at number 10 is Zadkiel, a real archangel of freedom and mercy, but the one we're talking about today is part of the Marvel universe. Back in the earlier comics, Zadkiel used to be God's personal warrior that was extremely good at killing anything and everything. In terms of power, he possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, he can heal quickly, he's immortal, he can fly, he can capture astral bodies, and he can manipulate you with magic. He could not give less of a shit about humanity, and during Lucifer's rebellion in heaven, he and his black host sided with the dark side. Zadkiel then snaked Lucifer, so this guy's evil truly runs deep. Like, how does man's snake Lucifer? I don't get it. As punishment for betraying God, Zadkiel was put in command of heaven's Black Ops team, and after doing a bunch of work, he was done with it and launched his own attack against heaven. He started recruiting humans, so after they died, their souls would automatically join his army. Zadkiel thought he could do a better job at ruling than God, and he actually won heaven and ruled for a while. So this dude is not to be messed with under any circumstances. Coming in at number 9 is Gabriel. In the 2010 action horror Legion, the Archangel Michael goes to Earth and ends up being the angel trying to save the human race. A waitress called Charlie is pregnant with a baby who's going to save humanity, except God doesn't want humanity to be saved. So he sends an army of angels to Earth to end the human race, and the angel in charge of the army is Gabriel. He goes on a killing spree and kills Michael, who later comes back to Earth and says that Gabriel did what God wanted, but that he himself did what God needed, and therefore Gabriel failed. I mean, God did send him down there to kill an unborn baby, surely he should have known something was wrong there. Either way, the TV show Dominion is set 25 years after the events of the movie, and in it Gabriel is still hell-bent on killing mankind. He even managed to convince all the lower angels to fight with him. So an immensely powerful archangel hell-bent on killing us all sounds a lot worse than Succubus, for example. You know? At number 8 we have Samyaza. In the Book of Enoch, this fallen angel is known as the leader of a band of other fallen angels called the Watchers. This group became possessed with their lust for human women and continued to consummate despite it being a sin. Samyaza created 2 half-human, half-giant sons and continued to corrupt his fellow angels into seducing women. His encouragement led to the offspring of these women being giants, and together with the angels they murdered, dominated, and exploited inferior races of men. And I mean, when you have angels and giants in one army, you know you're gonna lose. You may as well just give up. Surrender, it's over for you. Filling at number 7 slot are the angels of the 10th realm. Part of the Thor Marvel universe, these angels live in a place called Heaven, not actually spelled heaven, previously known as the unknown 10th realm. This realm was locked away by Odin because these angels were a right menace. They're vindictive and they're pro-killing babies. Loki actually helps Thor open up a portal to heaven so they can meet the angels. However, a battle ensues where Thor loses and Loki sides with the angels. In all the 10 realms, angels are their greatest warriors, to the point no army is a match for them. They're extremely selfish and materialistic, and think a concept like honor is just plain useless. Now at number 6 is Gabriel. What a surprise! Gabriel, why'd you have such a bad rep? Jeez, come on now. Anyway, in the 2005 occult detective film Constantine, half-breed angel Gabriel is a bit of a problem. Gabriel absolutely hates humanity with every fiber of its being and hatches a plan to unleash Satan's offspring Mammon onto Earth so humans can die so they can go to heaven. So I mean, it sounds like a good deed, but it most certainly is not. To claim the Earth for himself, Mammon needs help from God and a powerful psychic on his side, both of which he has, and he has the help of Gabriel, the selfish hoe. Gabriel literally tries to stab a possessed woman's belly to get Mammon out of there, and Satan eventually incinerates her wings off. You know it's bad when Satan is involved in doing the punishing. You know it's bad. Coming in at number 5 is Amenadiel. I like him personally just because he's from the DC universe and I prefer DC over Marvel. And I know everyone's just gonna be bashing their keyboards right now trying to tell me how Marvel is so much better and intricate. Believe me, I work with Chain Amanda, they're both Marvel over DC diehards. Either way, Amenadiel is a vengeful angel that spends his life getting back at Lucifer, who is now on Earth. After leaving his post as King of Hell, Lucifer went to Earth and started running a piano lounge, which did not set well with Amenadiel, who never forgave him for betraying him and God. However, Lucifer's a genius and Amenadiel is definitely, more brawn than he has brains. Any move against Lucifer is thwarted quite easily, which makes Amenadiel angrier and stupider. He literally invades LA with the Throne Army and kills a bunch of people all for his ego. Come on man, do better. At number 4 are the angels from Supernatural. I honestly did not think that show could last as long as it did, but I mean kudos to them. 15 seasons, Azam Zaddy. Now the series follows two brothers who essentially hunt ghosts, demons, monsters, you name it, they hunt it. Supernatural also has a lot of angels in it, the good of which being few and far between. There's probably only like 2 angels that are relatively good on the show, Castiel and Gabriel, and even they are not saints. Gabriel literally forced Sam to watch Dean die 100 times in a pocket universe, and he's in the top tier of nice in the show. That's not nice. Most of the angels on the show have no issue killing humans. The first half of the show actually features most of the angels wanting Satan to escape from hell just so the apocalypse can happen, and that's not even because they want it, it's literally because they're bored. Other antics include Angel Zachariah removing Sam's lungs for a few minutes just to prove a point, Metatron killing a bunch of humans, and also turning angels into suicide bombers. Like, hello, calm down. Filling a number 3 slot is Gabriel. There are so many asshole versions of Gabriel, I feel bad for it. Either way, this terrible Gabriel hails from the 1995 American fantasy movie titled The Prophecy. Now to summarize, there's this sort of angel civil war going on, and Gabriel wants to overthrow the regime and be in charge. As angels, you'd think they'd all be able to sort out their differences around some heavenly circular table, I don't know. In order to win the battle, Gabriel is looking for the dark soul of Colonel Hawthorne, a Korean war veteran that committed horrible war crimes that don't even seem to affect his morality at all. Hawthorne's soul will help him overthrow the obedient angels. To put it into perspective of how bad this is, even Lucifer doesn't want Gabriel to win because he knows he'll turn heaven into a second hell. You know shit is bad when Lucifer seems like the good guy. The reason Gabriel is even doing all this is because he feels bad and guilty for betraying God. His soul is being tortured, and this is the only way he can see out of it. I mean, has he tried therapy? Are some problems beyond therapy? I don't know. Now at number 2 is Zara. Now Zara is an angel in the Spawn comic book universe that is so powerful and feared that angels and demons alike don't want to get in her way. Zara is a creation that God abandoned and now keeps imprisoned due to her immense unpredictable power. She's one of the most powerful beings in the universe, but she is utterly insane. How can that much power not go to anybody's head? Come on, you're setting her up for failure. Now Zara's unending bloodlust is what makes her simultaneously a homicidal maniac and God's most lethal weapon. He lets her out when he needs someone killed or someone to do his dirty work, and since she's immortal, nothing's that deep for her. The bloodlust within her is actually so strong it manifests in this large white bestial humanoid that can breathe white celestial fire and follow Zara's every command. So not only is she dangerous herself, she also has this ethereal beast that kills people for her. And finally, at number 1 is the unnamed angel. In the 2001 psychological horror film Frailty, Dad Meeks, the father of Fenton and Adam, gets visited by an angel who tells him that God wants him to kill demons that are disguising themselves as humans. Meeks is already a religious fanatic, and this angelic visit throws him into overdrive as he waits for the angel to give him the name so he can start killing the people one by one. He takes his 2 kids with him on these murder missions and touches the victim right before killing them because it shows him the visions of what crimes that demon has committed. Now Adam believes his dad, but Fenton doesn't, so he tries stopping him, which fails. This angel tells the dad some horrible things about Fenton that leads him to locking him up in the cellar, hoping that will make him see God. After days of being starved, he lies and says he's ready to be part of the murders, and so upon securing the next victim, the dad gives him the axe, but Fenton kills his dad instead. Then, on instruction from the angel, Adam kills the victim and then buries them both. The movie gets darker after that with a lot of twists, but this one angel literally caused a serial killer to be born.
Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have Furfur. Furfur is a fallen angel turned demon who is the 34th of the 72 spirits of Solomon. He is the Earl of Hell and has 26 legions of demons who listen to his every command. If one is summoning him, they must do so within the magician's triangle, or else he will not speak, and if he does, none of it will be truthful. He appears as a deer with a fiery tail, unless in the triangle, where he will appear as an angel, but he speaks with a rough and hoarse voice. Furfur has the ability to raise thunder, lightning, and powerful winds, and he also apparently causes love between a man and a woman, which doesn't seem all that bad, but everything I've read about him references it in a negative way. When he is trapped within the triangle, he will tell secrets of divine things.
Coming in at number 9, we have Seraphim. Seraphims are flying serpents. Need I say more? Seraphims appear in the book of Isaiah, and their name means burning ones or flying serpents. So not only are they flying snakes, but they are fiery flying snakes. And they don't just got one set of wings. No, because why would they? They actually have 6 wings sprouting from their back. 2 are said to be covering their face. Why? Well, when they are mentioned, they are flying by God on his throne and telling him how great and holy and glorious he is. They cover their eyes because they feel unworthy to look at God. Then they have 2 wings to cover their feet. Yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that these snaky things have feet. They just keep getting weirder and weirder. Anyways, they hide their feet so God doesn't see anything imperfect about them. And then they have 2 wings that are actually used for flying. But still, they sound horrifying.
In our number 8 spot today, we have Raphael. Raphael is one of the true archangels and is the 4th oldest of the 5. He is a powerful healer, a guardian angel, and a great fighter, so you might be wondering why he landed a spot on today's list. Well, there's just one story in particular that I really wanted to talk about, and that story comes from the Book of Enoch. In this story, Raphael is in a battle with a demon, Azazel. Raphael is able to defeat the demon but decides to subject him to a fate worse than death. The story writes, "Bind Azazel hand and foot and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dundale, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face so that he may not see light, and on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire." If that wasn't clear enough, Raphael tied this demon up, buried him alive in a hole full of rocks in the middle of the desert where he just now gets to wait until he can be thrown into a fire and burned alive. Like, what? I gotta say, that's very dark.
Coming in at number 7, we have Lucifer. He definitely deserves a spot on today's list. And before you go off being like, why is he on here? He's not an angel. Wrong. He was one. He's a fallen one. This is based on the book of Isaiah in the Bible. In it says, and I quote, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" So it said that Lucifer was once an angel, but then got banished to the depths of hell after he staged an uprising against God. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious as to why he's terrifying and on today's list. I mean, he rules hell and has an army of sinners and demons at his disposal. He then sends them to earth to terrorize humans and tempt them into committing sin. In fact, in the Bible, it's also believed that Lucifer, or Satan, was the snake that tempted Adam and Eve. He has a number of different forms he can change into. But of course, modern times have him depicted as a red-horned beast with a pitchfork.
In our number 6 spot today, we have Beelzebub. This fallen angel is described in the Testament of Solomon and is said to be one of the angels that followed Beelzebub upon his fall from heaven. He is the sin of pride and is known for his ability to lead people astray. He is most easily summoned in the month of July during the 5th hour of the night. After his fall from grace, he was left with only one red wing and was condemned to hell. He is said to have control over the imprisoned souls of Tartarus and plays a primary role in the demon world. He himself claims that he was once an angel in what is referred to as the first heaven, and after his fall he began to roam Egypt. During his time in Egypt, he met with Moses and the Israelites during the Exodus and opposed them. This is when he decided to harden the Pharaoh and his advisors' hearts and convince them to pursue those who were fleeing. He then went with the Egyptian army in pursuit of the Israelites, but the collapsing Red Sea crushed and drowned him, which left him imprisoned in a pillar of water. Despite being trapped, Beelzebub says that he will return for conquest.
We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the cherubs. Now, you might be wondering, Lindsay, why are these on the list? Aren't they just plump naked kids with little bows and arrows? They're cute. No, sorry, but the Bible has them depicted a little differently. In fact, they are terrifying looking. They are described as, and I quote, "Their form was human, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight. Their feet were like those of a calf. Each had the face of a human being. And on the right side, each had the face of a lion. And on the left, the face of an ox. Each also had the face of an eagle." Yeah, you heard me correctly. They had 4 faces. A human one of a lion, a face of an ox, and then a face of an eagle. I'm sorry, but that just makes me uncomfortable. There's too many faces going on. But wait, that's not all. Each head had its own set of wings. and they appear to be on fire. So they're just a weird human-animal hybrid thing that's on fire. Can't forget the fire part. But wait, it gets worse. In Ezekiel 10:8, it claims that their backs, hands, wings, and their whole body were covered in eyes. That concerns me. Why do they need that many eyes? Imagine summoning that thing. Like, its appearance alone would just scare the crap out of you. No thank you.
In our number 4 spot today, we have Azrael. Azrael had to be included on this list today if for any reason, because his name literally means God forsaken or God deserter. Azrael is the angel of ruin and one of the fallen angels from the Gregory. After leaving the angelic post and straying from the angelic duties, Azrael dedicated his life to leading humanity astray. Azrael completely abandoned God and his grace and wishes nothing from him. Azrael believes that God is basically just another common celestial who has hoarded all of the power at the expense of the rest of creation. During and after his fall, Azrael questioned why God wouldn't just completely remove any evil and malice in the hearts of his creations, and this led to him believing that God was a tyrant who only cared about worship and praise.
Coming in at number 3, we have Samael. First off, Samael's name literally means the venom of God, the poison of God, or blindness of God. Pretty intense for an angel, right? Well, he's not just any angel. No, he's an archangel of death. He killed people under God's orders. So basically, when God tells him to go kill someone, he will show up and confront them with his sword drawn. The tip of the sword contains a drop of poison, so when he jabs the person, it will not only cause a nasty wound, but will contaminate their blood with poison and they will die a slow, painful death. Now, in Hebrew lore, he is the prince of demons and is the executioner of death sentences handed out by God. He is also called the seducer. Why? Well, he is known to seduce people into acts of evil. He seduces them so that they will sin, and then God's like, oh, we got another one, go kill them. Like, that's really dark.
In our number 2 spot today, we have Azrael. Azrael appears in many religions in our world and is often referenced as being the angel of death. His job is to watch over those who are dying and separate the soul from the body, and he receives the spirit of the dead. Rather than being death personified, he is more thought of as being a servant to the will of God. He is, however, referred to as the embodiment of evil. Not that he himself is evil, but just the embodiment of it. He is said to have 4 faces and 4,000 wings, and his whole body is covered in eyes and tongues, which directly correlates to how many people there are on Earth. Like, imagine being visited by an angel that looks like that, and then knowing that seeing him probably means you're about to die. Just not a good situation in general. It is said that Azrael will be the last to die, and he is constantly recording and erasing the names of men at birth and death. I thought my job sometimes got a little dark, but I'll take this one over that one any day.
And in our number 1 spot today, we have the Watchers. First off, why would they give angels such an intense name like the Watchers? Like, it sounds creepy already. Anyways, basically the Watchers came down to Earth to watch over the humans. But while down here they got distracted and fell in love with women. They ended up procreating among them, but this was a disaster. Their offspring were these savage giants who pillaged the earth and put humanity at risk. Like, literally, they started killing and eating people. Not only that, it's said that the Watchers were the ones that taught humans about weapons and violence. So yeah, these angels had one job and managed to screw it all up.